playing almost every single map that they can play. They're going to have their hands full against Koi. Operators will come in, and we're going to go to Bank for map number 1.
Very exciting first map battle between these two teams. It's all about the map dynamics, the opening picks, and both teams, they fight so well for those early engagements. Operator bands coming out. Dokkaebi, a staple from Koi every single map, time and time again. And whoa! It's Mira. Pretty basic. But in between those two first and last operator bands, you see the information being removed from the board by both teams, the Valkyrie and the Zero. That's due to the sheer scale that Bank has as a map. Information, such a key element for the defending side. But this also opens up this big question mark for Astralis to deal with when the side sword comes. The nuke has been left open and is going to be put into action in this first round by Astralis themselves.
Attackers need to locate and
all right.
as many bombs as they can.
Starting on the bottom floor of Bank, this is a map that has been played quite a lot here at this event. Nick?
It is.
It's been played twice by Koi. It was an 8-7 victory over Elevate and a 7-2 victory over Space Station in the groups. Koi didn't really need to play that much after the groups. As for Astralis, again, out of every single series that Astralis was in, there's only one more map they could have played. Every Astralis series, except for their series in the groups against CAG, went to all 3 maps. They have played an unbelievable amount of Rainbow Six Siege here. And because of that, they have played quite a lot of maps as well.
Yeah, and it kind of bodes the question as well about fatigue, right? Because these are long days, and it's a very long event as well. There is one big difference now, however. There's a crowd. No matter how tired you are as a player, no matter how grim the odds might be looking, the crowd can fuel you round by round all the way through all the 3 maps that you might see.
Last time we were back here in 2020, there's no denying that the crowd were able to will Space Station back into action in the grand finals against NIP. Did that crowd buff give SSG a world championship?
I mean,
the Brazilian fans seem to think so. There's the first pick. Iconic hops in Skylight. Down goes Spoits. And there's another to follow. What? The King breaching into the sight. But there's a Capcan trap to stop him. Kanto down to Shuttle. Astralis trading out, and I'm sorry.
Ending.
The diffuser going down. There's a single player left. Crying in a 1v4. What was 2 minutes left in the round has been reduced to just a couple seconds. Another one of those Capcan traps hit. The Shuttle up top for that insurance policy, and Astralis make round number 1 look so simple.
The only point of damage Koi could do in that entire round were the Capcan traps. And Iconic, he's had a rather quiet tournament so far, and it was, if you go back to Charlotte Major, it was him being the kingmaker every single round for Astralis. Opening round, he's right back with that crowd, showing that just what he can do. He belongs in this arena.
It was at one point during the Charlotte Major, we kept hyping him up because he was like top in almost every single stat.
Yeah.
Does he take the crown from Shaiko, who had that designation as being the best player at this event? But then Astralis knocked BDS out of SI. Hold on a second here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a Caveira on the board.
On the second round.
This is not that uncommon on this map, though.
It is a big map, and there's lots of places to hide, and you see Cryan all the way down in the basement, just hiding in the corner, avoiding all the drones, right? Cryan's entire purpose in this round is to go unnoticed. Then come up a flank, up a staircase at some point in the round, usually late in that round, try and find an isolated target from Astralis, and if he can get off a successful interrogation, that's almost a guaranteed round victory for Koi. It is that simple in theory, but in reality, besides drone work and how they play together, not gonna be easy.
That's better.
Slower second round. Koi is holding on to angles. They don't want to get rushed once more. Iconic with that early drone is looking for the next entry point for Astralis. Selma charges going off, 90 wall opened up, nothing to denied. Even if there was, Astralis, they bring out the Thatcher, the EMPs, they'll tear through any wall at any point in the map.
Didn't you tweet about this after that very first game, that the lurkers are the ones who are setting the tune?
They certainly are.
Setting the tone. Leon Gidd's first to die. Speaking of lurkers, the Solus is gone. Iconic is on the hunt.
Oh, yeah, you see it there. Open
That's
area
the pick.
entry.
And he gets him. Caveira still sneaking away. EMP goes off. Spoit, you can't shoot that. Astralis' entrance coming over towards Square. Cryan is on top of Blue, so he could sneak up on them. They have the numbers advantage, so Astralis can put somebody on that flank watch. Down goes Forest. Koi gets on the board.
Need more, though. J9 walking up, but it's Iconic with a second kill in the round. Cryan with a possible flank.
He sees this. He'll ascend the back stairs. Koi fighting back on the bomb site. These two teams wrestling for control. Astralis in trouble, though. They're about to get exposed by the Caveira. As long as he gets in, Shuttle gets the drop onto Spoit. 2v2. Cryan still on the board, but he's been spotted taking some damage. The game is up. There's no surprise here. Well, it's whiz past the head of J90. Shuttle good for 4 kills. He was the lowest rated player at this event, but 5 kills to start off, and Shuttle has shown up huge.
Not just that, but when you got Cryan running away from a gunfight, you know it's not looking good for Koi. Usually, Koi as a team, they want to get in these engagements, but they're being shot down in the early, mid, and late round by Astralis. And one number I was looking at before this game started was Astralis, they're not a very successful opening kill team. They're barely positive on their entry stats. The one saving grace for this team so far has been their teamwork and coordination and their clutches. Astralis, with the #1 amount of clutches in the entire tournament so far, is sitting on 21 individual 1vx's. Koi, in comparison, sitting on 12. That is a big difference in rounds 1. But in the first 2 opening rounds so far, it's been Astralis' individual performance being the difference maker, getting early kill, getting map control, and applying pressure onto Koi where they cannot just fight back in even numbers.
Seconds to go.
This map picked by Koi, Nick.
Yeah, they should win it, right?
Oh,
But
that's the thought process.
yeah.
Again, it was played by Koi twice. They're 2-0 on it. As for Astralis, they actually played Bank on the very first day, a 3-7 loss to OXG. Will be competing in the very next series once this one finishes. OXG versus W7M, winner of that goes to the grand finals and gets Saturday off.
It's pretty sweet.
Have a spa day, maybe. Some nice R&R. Who knows?
I think it's worth noting out that you said Astralis played this map 3 times, but they only beat CIG on it.
Oh! Surrender the very first pick in that round. Down goes Spiff. Spiff has had an extraordinary event so far. Forest is lost as well. Window goes open. Spoit prepared upstairs. Astralis' advance is being swatted away. They can't even get in the building without taking a beating.
Well, Shuttle's still alive, Parker. Anything can happen.
6-0 for Shuttle, and we will continue to mention his performance. 7-0 maybe? No. 6-1. Leon Gids reduces Astralis to just J90. There's a Maestro cam staring at him. It's over his shoulder. They have the information. J90, softened up from multiple angles. Leon Gids credited with the final pick. Koi get on the board.
And they need that. Once you start losing 3-4 rounds in a row on the very first game on the big stage, you can start shaking. And mentally, it's hard to come back from. So Koi finding one of the first 3 rounds, it's going to bode well for them against Shuttle with the entry, but it didn't matter that much because in a 3 versus 5, or a 2 versus 5 rather, you're down so bad in numbers. There are so many opponents to fight, left, right, and center. Leon with 2 on the round, secures the round for Koi. Seeing Kenzo on a stage like this again with a crowd, it never gets old. Maybe I'm biased, but it warms my heart.
Yeah, whether you're cheering for Koi or not, I think you'd have a soft spot for some of the players on the team.
Yeah. The history.
It's hard to dislike Kanto.
It is hard to.
As a player and as a persona, it's hard to dislike him.
It doesn't say much. It's easy to, he's just there.
He was such a nice boy on Ents, and then you took him over.
No. We didn't.
You and Fabian's influence on him.
Made him a beast.
Made him a world champion.
That it did.
attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse
I
it.
mean, you must be proud of seeing G2 succeed on stage as well.
I was proud. It also felt odd, however, seeing them walk onto stage and I wasn't a part of the squad. But yeah, heartwarming victory for sure.
Great first series, obviously. We've been treated to some of the best Siege that we've watched in a long, long time. The groups were good, but the knockout stage that followed in stage 2 was just, every game was a nail-biter.
Yeah, it was fantastic Rainbow Six Siege, and honestly, every single team is so close in competition these days. There are no free victories and free rounds being won. It's outplays left and right, always.
Yeah, no teams getting pity invites either.
No. And you saw what happened if you do. If your Violent team was not good enough to be at the competition, they won't make it very far.
Sorry, you made top 8.
We did. No main stage though.
Back upstairs, second attempt at this bomb site for Koi. Their only victory coming on open area. Astralis might have assumed that it would be a downstairs take. Spoy, damage through the walls, secured is crying, and now the Monty's in the sights. Astralis not wasting any time whatsoever. It's just Leon Gids upright, and he's done. These rounds so dominant. When Astralis wants the round over, they make it happen.
And they're everywhere. When Monty is ADSing 2 different members in a round, it's because Monty is not really under any pressure from the defending team, and that's because Shuttle, once again, iconic, they're supporting Monty on the entry. It's 4 is starting it, but it's Shuttle to end the round for them. And Spiff dropping down that main stage Skylar just opens things up further. Everywhere. What a trade.
The beauty of LAN getting to see all these kills. Honestly, for a momentum-based team, this start is enormous for Astralis.
Yeah.
To have them come in, making this run through the lower bracket, fighting off death every single step of the way.
And now having the crowd as well.
Crowd buff is huge. This does really remind me of Charlotte, though. I mean, obviously, Astralis came in as a team that we knew were good, and a lot of people speculated that they could make a deep run, but it still felt like because we were used to the Astralis team, that I'm just going to come out and say it. We're not really good at the beginning. They made some roster moves. They bring in Forrest. They bring in Khaled as a coach. And suddenly, this is a team that makes it to the major finals.
Yeah.
And puts up one hell of a fight against DZ, a team that is, I think, indisputably far more experienced than them.
Certainly.
And then we come into this event, and you looked at the teams from North America that everybody had as your favorites, and most people were saying Sonics.
Yep.
A lot of people were saying OXG. Astralis sent Sonics home. And then a lot of people said, well, BDS looks so good. And Astralis sent BDS home. And suddenly, I think people are starting to clue in that maybe this isn't some fluke run from Astralis, but that while they might have had a slow run through groups, they finished 4th in their group. That now they've had time to gel, and they're able to beat some of the best teams here.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue against that. Beating out some of the best teams that put you in a position of you are a threat, not to be underestimated. Spiff, so young, looking so good.
Okay.
And one.
And Spiff has another, but it's a sloppy duel against Spoits. God, that one was ugly. Yokai drone concussing Shuttle. He doesn't see Kanto and Square. Long range. Koi takes the advantage in numbers.
Kanto's isolated.
He is,
He
but
has no help.
he's gonna go through main lobby. Forrest will hunt him down. Astralis cannot afford to keep one player on Kanto watch because they don't have the same numbers. Oh, it doesn't matter if you send one after him. Kanto was ready, he had the read, another will come in, and he wins that one too. He dies, but not before dragging J90 down with him, and it's iconic in a 1v3. Half the round to go. What can you accomplish?
It's a basement defense, by the way. All the action happening upstairs, and I mean, even the drone is in garage. To scout for information, but with 3 enemies to find, the crossfire being stepped on the hedge drop, it's not easy.
He's going to take this engagement against the Goyo, but Spoit is repositioned. The crossfire from Koi is good enough. A close game, final round of the first half. Astralis can't lose it. Koi looking for the tie.
Before the round just started, by the way, Koi called their tactical timeout. So they're hitting those breaks. Maybe the coach of Koi, of course, giving some words of encouragement, possibly a strategical change in how Koi plays these rounds, because they're playing super aggressive on the roam, right? Far off the bomb side with those Joker drones from Deepic, assisting the roam, fighting Astralis on all the entry points, and it worked out so much better in their favor. Open area, bomb site. It's another bomb site where you can just exploit the size of Bank. Play upstairs, play downstairs, the evil eyes, the information game is massive. Tagger repicks, of course, you can see it right side of your screen. Astralis are changing up their approach significantly. Not gonna opt for the Ying for the execute, but get some more soft beat utility. Verticality on the sledge, those with terror drones on the Flores. They recognize the Asami and Maestro are a problem for them.
Keeping that same backbone of Yana, Ash, and Ace, but other than that, more soft destruction. Lots of soft destruction here. And you're right, I mean, this is the way it's always been. The more bulletproof gadgets that exist on defense, the more you have to answer that on attack. That's why Zofia was so strong for so long. Ash, Finka, Yana. When Buck had nades, Buck obviously Sledge now.
Yeah.
You have to answer with their indestructible gadgets, with whatever explosives you have.
But while Sparta's setting up the bomb side, they're also setting up their guns, and this is something that's hard to counter. Sport and Cryan upstairs, they want to engage in these gunfights, and the only real answer if you're an attacker is to shoot back. Gadgets are sure flashbang nades that can help you, but ultimately it comes down to if you can hit the head.
Curious why they swapped off of that Ying, because this is a bomb site where she can do some serious damage if you bring enough soft destruction, especially towards the back of the bomb site. But that's a question for them if they win as to why they would have done this. Forrest engaging first, Cryan the first pick! But look at what Forrest can accomplish. 2 very fast kills, clearing out CEO upstairs. He's looking for more. It's Spiff now to engage with Kanto on the stairs. Advantage for Astralis, half the round to go.
That's again the gunfights, right? I mean, Forrest, he has 2 nades in pocket, didn't need him. He has 2 drones, didn't need that either. Just goes on in with confidence, seeks the 1v1s, wins them. Oh, he doesn't know. But it's free.
That's the crowd buff in action, isn't it? It's an extra set of eyes playing on cams. Astralis now doubling up on the numbers of Koi. Quadrupling up. Leon Gids isn't so great. Are you kidding me? Starts with 1 kill, but Astralis are better at the trade back. First half in the books. It's Koi's map, but Astralis have already forced Koi to take their time out, and they've grabbed 4 of the first 6 rounds, setting themselves up excellently to go on to what statistically is the better side on Bank through this event, which is defense.
And the thing about Astralis is that the way they won the first 2 rounds, it wasn't, I mean, it was very decisive, and it's like, the round shouldn't really have played out that way. They just stole the show entirely. Iconic on the nuke, found 2 kills in the very first round. Second one, it's Munchie stolen to the bomb side. Koi can't really do much in terms of adaptation in the rounds to come, and it's why they find themselves at 2-4 scoreline.
Your tweet talked about it, was it not yours, that said that, you know, these maps are so defined by lurkers and flankers? Was that you on social media?
It wasn't, but I'll take full credit. That was certainly not my tweet.
Okay, what was your tweet now?
Okay, I said that.
There you go, thank you. That's great insight. But I think it's correct. How many times on defense? Most of these maps, by the way, defender-sided.
Yeah, might be every single one, actually.
As of the stats that we have today, every single map that has been played so far is a positive round differential for the defenders. So yes,
every single map.
That really is an incredible statistic. Usually, back in the day, you'd have 1 or 2 maps that would skew in that direction. Maybe Border, Coastline tend to be there for a long period of time. Chalet was there as well.
Oh, certainly. Things change. Asami and Solis, 2 operators in defense that change things around a lot.
That's exactly it. 2 incredibly strong defenders. Grim on attack and Sens on attack, not having the impact that they want. Can't say the same about Kanto on Repel. Forrest decides to ego peek the window and square and loses his head.
You can see Kanto, the second he got that opening kill, he just peels off, right? Koi saying, keep the man advantage, do not seek these engagements that are risky. Spoit has a drone way ahead of him, not taking any chances there either. He's gonna force Astralis to go aggressive to try and get that kill themselves or fall back towards the bomb sites. In both of those scenarios, Koi come out the winner. They get either the map control or they get a 2 versus 1 to further build their lead, and you can see the outcome. Astralis, they've surrendered the entire roam off that initial death, and that's smoke. It's the biggest operator you could have killed from the side of Koi.
It was a really perplexing decision by Forrest because it didn't look like he was just scouting for information. It looked like he wanted to engage. And I mean, if Astralis are feeling confident, that confidence becomes hubris very, very quickly. I think it did for Forrest. It's a hard lesson to learn. And yeah, no gas canisters remaining for the final 90 seconds.
Yep.
Good news is they got a bomb site that allows you to turtle all you want, so Astralis can sit pretty.
The next step for Koi is going to be either you clear the server stairs, that's Spiff sitting here, shield NADSs, and then you go for a server attack. And it looks like Koi, they will challenge. 3 members there, hatch can open up. It's Shuttle and Spiff in a 2 versus 3 on this server position. Big C4.
Nicely tossed on the D-Pack. Grenades will come in. Spiff's gotten away. The shield is still up until it isn't. They don't have information. Spiff has been good with his shots, but can he do it here? Yes, he smokes Spoit. Does a lot of damage to Leon, but not enough in the follow-up. 3v3, HP favoring Astralis. Clock at the moment, not really helping either team.
Yeah, but this is gonna, again, you can see it on Leon Git's positioning. He doesn't know where to attack from. He has 1 HP, diffuse on hand, but you can't go for server now. You can't challenge, so backside hatch drop instead. Take those 2v3s and no shuttle stock inside of servers.
There's still 1 Nitro Cell on the board. Even a tiny bit of that explosive will kill Leon Gids if he goes for the diffuser plant. Heading down the stairs, J90 losing the engagement. Koi have control. Looking for somebody on the flank. Doesn't get it. Iconic dispatch. Shuttle will need to clutch. But he's getting watched from multiple angles and he can't do a damn thing. Koi, a strong start to their attack. They're keeping this matchup close, even if Astralis does continue on with the lead.
Leon Gitz really is great. In that round, gets the initial trade on server stairs, runs into bomb site with literally 10 HP left, gets 2 kills. Spiff, disgusting pre-fire, but this right here, and then Leon trades it right back.
That was, you can thank the Type A, the Bearing 9 rather's recoil for that one, as it just flicked all over the screen. Landed on the head, tough spot for Shuttle to be in.
Huge round for Koi. Around that, didn't look like they was going to favor them in that 3 versus 3 due to Leon being so low and then not having server control, but the teamwork.
It makes the dream work.
It makes the dream work, and both of these 2 teams, Astralis and Koi, they thrive off playing together every single match. And it's why these opening kills are so important, because if you can get an uncontested opening kill, play that 5 versus 4, that can get you so far in these rounds. And speaking of far...
Well, hold on. Look at this lineup.
I was going to say fast.
A Blitz and a Sens.
Yep.
Now, you don't exactly have the tools to slow down this rush. There's no Capkin, there's no Legion, but you've still got those Azami Kiba barriers that you can throw out. Frost mats will, I suppose, be the biggest thing in your arsenal.
We saw Koi attempt this. I think it was back in groups, and unfortunately, Leon died immediately, so Sense couldn't be utilized for the execute. But the general concept is get that bottom heaven control, bottom skylight, and go through that double door, throw out your Sense wall, and you can like safely get escorted with Diffuser and Blitz and try and get that plant down. Koi are gonna start their step number 1, take top square control. That's what Kenzo's doing right now with the support of Sport on the window repel. And they're just gonna take every precaution that they need right now, because if they can get to the bomb site, it should be around for them, and they're gonna start it right now.
Here it goes. That wall will go out, but there's Shuttle prepared and ready. The Warden countering it perfectly. 12 kills for Shuttle. He's heard the haters talking, and he's here to prove them wrong. Still have one gadget left in Senz's pocket, but that entire strategy, you said Leon Gitz died first last time. Well, Deepek walks in. He gets punished. Now Koi have to go back to the drawing board.
The only way this round is easily winnable by Koi is if they kill Shuttle on the Warden. Then they can still get the plant down, but Astralis, they recognize they've won the strategical elements now. They're playing far back on site, not giving those kills away.
You saw it in the BDS match, you saw it in the Lost 1 match. Astralis, so patient. On attack, formidable. They can get in very quickly. Down goes J90. That was a joint effort. Cryan thought he had one from above as well to help out. Forrest will retake from above. Spiff does, but there's a set of eyes from Koi. It's Kanto far enough back inside of square. He's got that line of sight all the way over towards Conference, and I think it's enough to spook Forrest away from doing that.
Yeah, you need your members alive now. A 3v4 is very winnable, a 2v4 is very tough. There are so many entry points on this bomb site. Koi have a decision to make. Do they take full top floor control? They can start using those hatches, the verticality. They got 40 seconds. The bomb site itself is rather weak. Only Shuttle inside the site itself, but Iconic on server stairs, and Forrest hiding in that main stairs elevator. Could be a quick one for Koi.
Changing mags.
Still that one last gadget remaining for Leon Gitz. 30 seconds, you gotta go quickly. Ooh. Iconic might know. No, he doesn't. Trying to give him some information. Leon Gitz in, that's Diffuser down, surrendered in the bomb site, but they will gang up on Iconic, who far enough away is good enough. No, many! Past the point now where the Diffuser needs to be picked up from Cryan. They'll go for the plant. All he needs to do is wait out time, and here comes the run for Iconic. Cryan almost finished. What the hell was that from Iconic? A monstrous round from Astralis.
That's what he does. At the Charlotte Major, now at the Six Invitationals, he shows up when it matters the most, and the crowd is there to witness it. A 1 versus 4 clutch in the round. It should have never been going to Astralis, but they still win it.
I mean, they peaked one by one by one. Watch this. Thing of beauty. Nice pick by Cryan, but this one is just...
Oh, it's a frustration.
The beauty of the UMP with its low rate of fire, but low recoil as well. Ever so consistent. Timeout already burned by Koi, so if things go bad, they have no way out of this matchup.
You saw it on Cryan's face. He realized that they'd done goofed when the 2 members died, and all of a sudden, what looked like an impossible round for Koi to lose became very losable, and I feel bad when it comes down to the 1 versus 1, and all you can do is stick the plant with 0 seconds left and hope that somehow Iconic either runs into your grenade on server stairs or just forgets to push the bomb site, and then maybe you can get that diffuser down and take your 1 versus 1 gunfight, but it doesn't go there. You're still planting with 2 seconds left, and you get shot from behind, and you lose the round. 3-5 in favor of Astralis. They're going to towers.
I was gonna say, the lowest picked site on this map.
Yep.
And the only bomb site on this entire map that has a bad win-loss differential for the defenders. And look at that. Cryan's going to exploit it. He's already in the middle of the site. The Nook gadget goes, invisible to all cameras except for set of eyes.
Yep. He might only have gotten 1 kill, but the amount of pressure he's applying onto Iconic and the rest of Astralis right now, they need to get back to the bomb side to now force him to stop making too much movement across the map.
Still drone work outside. Iconic might be able to catch one of them.
They've missed him. There's no drones here.
And there might be another drop on down. There you go. Leon Gitz
he doesn't
run in.
know.
He has no idea. How do you miss that, Iconic? Good Lord. Everything that went well in the last round completely undone by that.
Count your blessings, Leon.
Do they have information on him? There's a trade, Iconic from the same position. He lets the Nook walk on by. Iconic could very easily peek here. Cryan's making a ton of noise. Iconic's a bit too slow on this.
He's waiting
Again,
for
no
Leon.
drones, but look at all the time that's bleeding through. This game of cat and mouse that they are currently playing. The bomb site has been under control of Koi for a minute solid.
It has, and now Leon's there with the diffuser. They can stop planting. They have repel control up above.
And they're doing it. Leon Gids is in. There's Iconic on to Spoit. Leon Gids successful in getting the diffuser down. Post plant. They know exactly where Iconic is. Cannot outdo a Leon Gids. Double duty. Objective play and the killing for his team. Trying to prevent Astralis from moving to map point, but Astralis will clobber the play. They're in damning position by that door. The soft destruction above will keep them busy. J90, the thought of long arming, but you need Spiff to act. T-Pex stops him in his tracks. Spiff goes down to Leon Gids, and Koi in the post plant as good as ever.
Core playing a really good round of Rainbow Six Siege, having the sledge up above for the post plant. Leon keeps playing far back, staying alive, and Cryan having bump site control, as you said, Parker, for over 50 seconds straight, and then just playing around it. Nice jump out from Forest, trying to get something, going, but it's a trade at best. I am curious what would happen if Leon Gids was found by Iconic earlier.
If Iconic doesn't miss that easy kill onto the electrical door, this whole round might have fallen apart for Koi, because that allows Iconic to still play that pivotal position at the top of server stairs on blue. You lose your diffuser. Somebody needs to move out of their position. Likely Cryan is sitting in the bomb site. So now he needs to go pick up the diffuser. But Iconic would have control of that part of the map. It completely changes the way that Koi go about it. And now Deepak, who's sitting upstairs on Sledge, well, he might not be in a position to hold that reliably.
Everything works together like a game of dominoes. And when one small thing goes the wrong way, big mistakes can follow along shortly after. Most of these rounds, for most teams, they have predefined places that they gotta go, and if not, they communicate them in the drone phase or in the early stage of the action phase. And if one member doesn't do their job, well, someone else will have to be punished for it.
Crowd buff coming into play. Koi changing things up on these attacks, locking in the Amaru this time.
Spicy!
They made a gamble on the Blitz and the Sens, but did not pay off. Astralis using Warden, whose prevalence has been very high so far. It's a great question that was actually asked on the subreddit about why is Warden played so frequently, and it's because, again, Warden is being brought in anticipation of this attacking lineup, having a Ying, having Smokes, a Capitao, all operators whose pick rates have been higher than usual. You need the Warden to fend that off because, yeah, bulletproof camera's good and Evil Eyes are good, but sometimes a Maestro's not going to get it done. Sometimes you need more than just that, and the Warden is good in a pinch.
Yeah, the Warden, you have a gun up as well, instead of being stuck in a drone. Goyo, same story. A lot of rushes happening, aggressive play. Goyo fire stalls for 20 seconds. Another note for that is that a lot of these rounds on the attacking side are relatively slow. You get to the bomb side with 40, 30, 20 seconds left, and that's where that Goyo fire, again, it can pay off and win you literal rounds.
Now, the last time we got a look at this bomb site, it was when Forrest decided to ego peek the top of server stairs.
Yep.
Not gonna make that same mistake again. He's got a mute jammer, 2 ADSs, a deployable shield, and out will go one of those 3 gas canisters. Biding as much time as possible.
Yeah. Combine that with the Goyo, and all of a sudden, Koi gotta rush the side with 10 seconds left on Forrest. If he can get a kill here, that'd be massive for him.
It's been a slow game from Spiff. It doesn't get any better. He's the first one to die in this round. Astralis will battle from behind. Spiff knew he was in a rough spot. All of that gadgetry that was up for Astralis at the top of server stairs is now gone. Forrest could be the next one to die. Spoit is down. There's the gas doing its job. Kanto has found an opening, and Koi will wipe the floor with Astralis in the ensuing fight.
Yep. Eyes on the Goyo fire now. Bombs have all getting opened on up. I think they've already been popped, so Koi might be okay. In a 3v2, 1 can plant, 2 can cover. It's just starting to challenge this bomb side plant.
The only denial that we see at the moment is the Nitro Cell of Iconic, but
it's ripped.
It's ripped and ready to go. Here comes the dance, 10 seconds left. Leon Gids now taking damage from J90, but there's the hatch control. Iconic doing it again. How does he pull this off? The king is back. A 3K to propel Astralis to map point.
That's not supposed to happen. You got the hatch control, the flank from Garage. The C4 missing, not doing any damage to the planter. But as long as Iconic is there, Astralis always have a way to win these rounds. The frustration from Koi, it has to be building up. The Toxic Babe kill from the Injures. It's a great trade again from Koi, but in the late stage, they cannot get the job done. Look at this. Anticipates the hatch, recognizes he's not there, and then gets the flick and the kill. You see it. Pure frustration. They thought they had the round, Koi that is. Oh boy. And now it's match point.
Astralis. Teller's Archives.
Again. Yeah, why not? I mean, it was small things not working in the previous round, right? Because they lost the opening kill very early on. Then Iconic had that hiccup, and they lost bomb site control. If Quiet doesn't just walk into sight, that entire round plays out differently. So Astralis, that's the main priority. Do not let the pass repeat itself. Hold this top floor and force Koi to deal with it this time.
This is such a gamble, but this is also exactly what Astralis does.
Yeah.
They do the silliest things, and then they make it work.
One big thing for high-pressure games that I can speak from experience is basically risk assessment, right? Making decisions from home when you're comfortable in a game is relatively easy. Making high-risk decisions and doing so with confidence at a major event on a big stage with a big crowd, all of a sudden those lines can be blurred. Going tailors twice seems like, oh, it's not a big deal, but honestly, it really is. Statistically and strategically, this is a really, really quote-unquote bad decision to do on paper, but it might just win in this entire map.
I mean, there was one missed opportunity from Iconic from changing the entire result of this bomb site last time around. What can they accomplish? What's the change in this setup? Iconic and Shuttle combining for 23 kills so far. That is outlandish. And they're doing it while the superstar for Astralis through the groups of Spiff is having probably his worst series up to this point.
I think that's fair to say.
First time Spiff is playing on stage in front of a crowd. I have to imagine there's some jitters there. No, Kanto Raketti walks right in. No jitters for the Finn. He wants more than just a single pick upstairs in CEO. They know he's there. Astralis not paying him any attention. They're distracted by the advance over by Square. Spiff will test his mettle in that engagement. Spoit has enough time to walk up. Cryan walks in, down goes Forrest. Astralis losing out on their two offsite players. Spiff has managed to get away.
Not just two of their offside players, they lost the point of the map that they care about the most. Having top floor control gives you bomb site control. Because Koi they roam through successfully, they will now get bomb site pressure by destroying the floor above, applying that vertical pressure.
That's exactly where DPEG is going to go. Kanto can stay up there as well. You keep an Ash up there, you keep a Sledge up there, you are going to lose out on so much of that protection on the bomb site. And you can't retake if you're Astralis. You are in a 3v5. Unless some kind of magic happens, this round is effectively over. Iconic has had his share of heroics before. He'll attempt for a retake, but this is a daunting task. A flawless round by Koi. They made that one quick. We said on paper it looked like a bad idea. Well, in the server it looked like a bad idea as well. All 12 rounds needed. Astralis still have their timeout. They can still slow things down if they want.
Yeah.
And they're going to take their timeout, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, this is you can call it a gamble if you will. Now you're giving Koi a chance to talk to their coach and calm things down themselves. But if you're Astralis, you're on match point. You want this final round to go your favor, take it 7-5 and go next. So you're gambling everything on this, and worst case, you got a best of 3 in terms of round count in that overtime scenario. And I think the big thing for Astralis is to discuss which bomb site to go to and which particular strat to apply, because you got 4 options on Bank. It's not easy to choose between them. Now, note, basement is locked, but the other 3 bomb site of Taylor, CEO, and open area, they're all open for Astralis.
Imagine before this map was picked, There's a good idea of where they were going to go. Astralis would have been watching.
They're gonna go back to Taylor's again? It looks like it.
Sure does. Why?
I mean, there's gonna be a strategic change in operators.
Astralis has only gone to open area one time. It was that Sen's Blitz Rush that came in from Koi that was answered by Iconic's incredible clutch. It wasn't exactly a great team performance. It was a great individual performance. So I can understand your reluctance to go back to the bomb site.
Damn.
That was only won because of a hero play. But again, you have to wonder what's going through their heads.
That's exactly what I'm wondering. I'm trying to pick it apart. I mean, operators are different. Ella obviously being the most notable one to look at. Asami from Iconic instead of Oryx. But the rest, it's relatively the same. Shuttle on the Kaid can maybe make a big impact with the Kite Claws from below because there's going to be no EMPs from Koi unless they read this with the attack or repick. But strategically, this plays out similarly. It's Astralis trying to hold top floor control, and if they lose top floor, they lose bomb site. So it's do or die upstairs, and Koi, they know this.
Matchup is not on the line for them because no matter what happens in this round, either Astralis goes out a winner or they continue playing because they have overtime on their side. For Koi, this is where the stakes lay. I was saying before the timeout was called, and before we mentioned this Teller's Archives bomb site, that Elevate against Koi were able to push this Koi team to the brink on bank at 8-7 that Koi ended up walking out of after quite a scare. I imagine Astralis have watched a lot of that footage, and well, after that, there's a 7-2 over SSG on bank, and that was the last time we saw it from Koi. Already, Astralis seems to be doing better than most of the times that they've played on this map. That's a confidence boost, but this team doesn't want to get close. They want it all.
Oh, Forest.
What is, this is not good.
Get out of there.
Run, Forest, run.
Kryno gonna flank the main stairs.
And he gets spotted by Iconic down below in the bomb site. They didn't expect that opening, but teams love to open that part of the wall up and play on the stairs. They've just reversed it. Astralis is just playing from the bomb chassis, looking in that direction. Now Spoit has one in his sights. J9O's fallen off of an engagement, doesn't want to contest too early. Waste as much time as possible. This round, Nick, has flown by. We're at the halfway point already.
Yeah, it's worth noting that normally defenders can just fall back towards the bomb side when things get rough.
There's a nade tossed in. J9O is no more. He didn't want to engage in the gunfight. Spoit says, that's fine, I've got something else up my sleeve.
But Astralis can't fall back. They care too much about the top floor for a good reason, because they need some control upstairs. It's why both Spiff and Forrest are holding on strong, even though J9O fell just 20 seconds ago.
Spiff versus Spoit.
The youngsters.
Who's got the better aim? So far in this map, it's been Spoit, and they will want to engage. Spiff might not have picked the right opportunity to do that. An inexperienced player is going to make those mistakes. Forrest looks like he's gone undroned. Proximity alarm goes off. The dynamic duo of Iconic and Shuttle. They've been phenomenal so far. They're both still upright. Forrest will be the difference maker. Advantage for Koi in the final 30 seconds, and Forrest will drop away. But Koi can very easily collapse on this. They've got two players inside of the lobby, but none are watching. And like that, Forrest gets one pick. Another could be there as well. He'll keep their focus for the 20 seconds, playing shrewdly around the wall, losing out to Leon Gids. A pivot has to happen from Koi with 15 seconds, or that's the map, leaving Iconic and Shuttle to deal with this advance. Diffuser in the hands of Leon Gids. Shuttle playing this small angle. He needs to pop up. Iconic softened up. Shuttle will need to clutch. He's flattened two of them, and he gets all of them. Holy shit! How does Shuttle do that? Astralis in stunning fashion take map one.
I think it's your fault, Parker. During the group stage, you're going in on Shuttle, and that he was not there in the server ever. He really showed up on map number 15 kills. He ends the round from a match point 1v3. On Astralis' clutch factor, it's too much for Koi.
How many rounds have they won at a disadvantage?
I need two hands for that to count.
What a first map by Astralis. Absolutely stunning performance. The one man in the crosshairs of social media, and no shortage of hate, I'm sure, thrown his way for being at one point the lowest rated player in this entire event.
Yeah.
You don't make it this far if you're Astralis with Shuttle. That's just map 1. We've got at least one more to go. We'll toss to a quick break and then we'll come back with more Astralis versus Koi.